Welcome, everybody, back to Wrath and Glory, a super special session today as we return back to our tier 3 characters.
It's so hot.
It's so hot.
Milk was a bad choice.
But no doubt it would be just as hot for Argenta, Gerhart, and Poul this far down into the crust of Gilead Primus in a scene of unusualness. But I will offer a point of wrath to anyone who can cast their memory back and give a brief recap of how we ended up here.
Well, I suppose it's me.
You should say that.
Okay, so very brief because I'm only going off a little bit of memory here and the fact that I watched the video back about 4 hours ago, but it's been about 15 weeks. So here we go. We've come down below into this old archaeotech, pretty much underworld city that used to be around thousands, tens of thousands of years ago. I can't remember exactly, or if we even know that. We have come across all manner of weird creatures, bugs, beetles, strange flesh men that are silently stalk the halls and cut Paul to ribbons because he's got a big target on his back and has got bad karma and juju somehow. He did something in his past life that means everything wants to kill him. We've found stray servitors, old, fucked, not really working properly and don't listen to any commands that we give them. We've found a power cell that is unlike anything we've ever seen. It's small, it's potent, it puts out more energy and output than the large, cumbersome, basically nuclear turbine that's on Gerhart's armor. It is alien, as is everything else down here. We were told by Vakuul to get the fuck out of here. Something to do with holy STCs. Can't remember exactly what it was. I don't think she really told us, but she basically said should kill us or do worse if we were to come down here. We paid no heed. We've followed a massive cut down into this area. We've come across more strange, weird fuckery where Gerhart tried to cut a wall to get through an impasse of this green shield that they came across with his eviscerator. Even with his great Astartes strength and the cutting power of the eviscerator, it didn't even leave a scratch on this material. Another strange finding in a strange place we find ourselves. We come across where we are now in the current scene. Strange creatures again, almost looking like servitors, almost looking like Mechanicus, but not, bathed in the green light that we've been so accustomed to around here. And as we walk in, we either overhear them talking and also them directly speaking to us. We hear that we can't look after our own system. We can't look after our own galaxy, and that basically we are lesser life forms, and they see us as such. They let us in this area. We didn't have to break in. They let us in. Before we got to this place, we had to fight some more bitey bugs, but they did let us in. And here we stand in front of these strange-looking things that we have never seen before in our life, in a place we've never seen before in our life, and we await to hear the next words that are uttered out of their lipless faces.
Wonderful. You definitely earn yourself a point of wrath. Thank you very much, Gerhart. So yes, you've entered this huge vaulted room. Which is something akin to this. Dark, clean, polished black metal everywhere. These eerie green monoliths, and of the flat surfaces, these strange ancient glyphs, filigreed with what would appear to be gold. This place is completely anathema to you all. It's nothing like anything you've seen before. As you entered, the door behind a green force field closed it shut, and then a wall of green force shot up in front of you. You were then momentarily trapped in this scenario where skittering, crawling bugs came out of pods attacking you. These more snake-like metallic creatures had been essentially coming through the monoliths and ambushing you, trying to attack you, but you fended them all off with relative ease, and this gave the creatures, the people at the far end of the room, pause. Combat ended, and the force field dropped. Seeing as it's been nearly 3 months, I wonder if it might be a little bit of a nice thing, and I know that Ed's not going to be able to do this, but it might be nice to just recharacterize your appearance. Just as a refresher for yourselves as to who you are, what you look like, what's your current situation, you know, all the rest. So as you approach the dais, you step, your heavy feet clanging across this polished metal. Who is approaching? Gerhart.
Staring up at these two strange creatures bathed in the green glow of this strange alien world, steps Gerhart, roughly 7'4", 7'6", somewhere around that range. Can't remember exactly. I think 7'4". He is armored completely in holy ceramite of the Astartes of his chapter. Not the Blood Angels.
The Absolvers.
What do we call the Absolvers? Jeez, how do I forget that? Of the Absolvers. Black trim around his pauldrons, around his armor with red symbology thrown on the shoulders and across the chest. Large eviscerator hangs on his back with a power sword at his hip. Long, blonde, greasy hair mucked with blood and oil and dirt and grease, with a short beard coming through. He looks young for an Astartes, even though they don't age. You don't really see an old Astartes. He still looks relatively fresh-faced, around his early 30s. He walks with a practiced and very meticulous step. He is a melee specialist. He is a frontline warrior, and he is a young green Astartes trying to find his way in a galaxy constantly in turmoil, trying to make a name for himself, trying to save and do his duties as a defender of humanity, while also trying to carve out a path of his own as a brother, as a newly anointed fully brother in his black carapace.
Nice.
Though really young for an Astartes, and for an Absolver, in the short time that he has been in his position, I feel he is steadfast and resolute, almost sometimes to a fault, but he hasn't had the years yet to gain the flexibility of wisdom.
And of course, being trapped in the Gilead system, it is a harsh life, a harsh truth for the Astartes. Your other brothers have the benefit of near endless resources from the Imperium, a mountain of bolter ammunition that would flood every single every single chapter vessel. You, on the other hand, have to deal with the scraps. Your weapon and armaments are precious, precious things that cannot be replaced, and every scratch and every dent of your ceramite is a potential loss that could never be replaced. Yours is a hard existence.
As the camera pans past the mottled acid burns that tear away at his current armor.
But in quick step, no doubt, following Gerhart, Simon.
Yes. A few steps back, entering the scene, very much trying to regain control of his breathing from the stint of combat that we had just survived, is Paul, much smaller in stature compared to our compatriot Gerhart, standing at a solid roughly 5'5", is an older person who's perhaps not as imposing, but is nonetheless quite a threat in his own way. Paul is a Sanctioned Psyker. That's how he started things out. But through actions, through missions, and holding his own, now finds himself in the position of a Commissar. So he is in this scene, bloodied, battered, scarred, burnt, but many of these scars and many of these burns have been healing unnaturally rapidly over the last few weeks and or days, as his unnatural abilities as a Psyker have sped up his recovery. Nonetheless, he's in this scene wounded. He's clutching onto his force stave with one of his hands leaning against it, another hand, his free hand, clutching at a very recent wound in his torso that was eviscerated open, that he's been desperately trying to sort of close up with his powers, but is still very much giving him troubles. He's partially limping. There's a little bit of blood that's kind of coming out of his mouth as a result of just sort of breathing through it. There's pain on his face, but there's still stalwart control and a sort of a set jaw of keeping everything under wraps. As he looks about the scene, the two strange entities before us.
And again, honing in on something there, Simon. Your appointment as Commissar, strange occurrence, very unusual, as Paul would no doubt know. Loyal and faithful,
100% agree.
Loyal and faithful man of the Imperium, to become a Commissar is, it's not like changing a job description. It's a whole identity. To become a Commissar, you are pulled from the very creme de la creme of the Schola progenitor. You are born and raised to become a Commissar. You don't earn it in battle. You don't earn it in the line of duty. You either are one or are not one.
Yeah. So he's very much faking it until he makes it in certain situations as a result of being dressed and robed and labeled as a Commissar, but he very much believes it's a clerical error that can't be easily undone.
Precisely. The strangest of things, and no doubt something that could weigh heavy on your mind. Thank you for that.
Just in time.
Just in time. Behind Gerhart and Poul clumps Argenta in her very heavy power armor, the sister or previous sister of battle, the Adeptus Sororitas. Now, what are you now? You are a
Palatine?
Palatine, thank you, not Canoness. Your helmet is up and ready for combat. The stench of foul Xenos in the air, no doubt triggering a desire to eliminate all around you. The power army, the heavy power armor, gives you an extra foot in height, but is still quite cumbersome and meaning you are a bit slow of movement. A sister without her flock, a Palatine without her followers and far from home, she is stuck in Gilead, only now coming to terms with reality, how scarce resources are in this system. She has a trusty heavy bolter at the ready, and she knows faith has blinded her in the past, and trusts the two men next to her with her life and their judgment. Thank you very much for that, Argenta.
So that trust was very hard fought on Paul's
Very hard fought. If we think about episode 1 when Paul was forced to derobe. But I'm going to update the music. So, as you approach the dais, these strange metal men, they look up from their work. One of them takes a pause and then strides over to meet you. The figures begin to then pace around you, looking you up and down.
Intriguing, most intriguing. All our recon scans showed your species to be nothing but incompetent. Perhaps an error. Perhaps an oversight.
One of them reaches up and scratches at his chin.
No. The timeline will not allow it. Begone, lesser life forms. If you cannot save your own system, then the might of the Lezetican dynasty shall do it with the stretch of our awakening arms.
As they pace back to the dais. Let me just double check. Passive awareness 4. Gerhart especially. Paul not so much, but Gerhart, you would notice just your own combat sense. These two entities are practically identical in every sense of the word. You cannot see any crack or misplaced blemish. Nothing looks different. It would be nigh on impossible to tell them apart. As they return back to the dais and begin their work.
What are you? As Gerhart looks at both of them, looking at these smaller details.
I can practically hear Argenta wanting to butt in, screaming, "Xenos, my lord!"
Absolute heresy. We cannot allow it. Burn them now. Don't worry, I'll get the heavy flamer.
We are the most devoted. We are the most devoted of servants to the Lezektakan dynasty. That is all you need to know. Not that this knowledge will do you any favors. It appears your lives are forfeit either way.
We are not so easy to kill. You may have noticed.
Ah, child's tricks. The natural defenses of these minor tomb workshops. I would not expect anything like that to kill. It is simply to deter.
Yet here we are. What are you doing in our system? You said you wished to save it. How did you get here?
He says your system. Foolish humans. This is our system. But, under your pathetic species stewardships, you have let our system fall to warp contagion. Twice. But I suppose it is too much to expect such a juvenile race to begin to fathom construction with Noctilith.
Well, and he spits out a bit of blood onto the floor. If this is truly your system, then surely you're the ones who allowed the Manufactorum. Is it the Manufactorum? I forget what it's called.
A Manufactorum would be like an Imperial.
No. I mean like the shroud that's stopping the exit and entry into the system.
Oh, sorry,
What is it called?
the Cicatrix Maledictum.
The Cicatrix. Yeah.
Cicatrix Maledictum.
Thank you. Then really it falls to you the responsibility that the system fell to the Cicatrix Maledictum. Oh, sorry. I'm wounded. I can't remember quite so rightly.
No. We put our defenses in place before the Great Sleep. Your foolish species allowed for the Great Tomb World to fall. I believe you refer to it as Cadia. It is our construction that was holding back those beyond the warp. You let the planet fall during our Great Sleep. It is you and you alone who has brought this wrath upon you. However, it is not the corruption of real space that concerns me. Our scans have picked up an incoming tendril of the Great Devourer. No doubt drawn to this sector by a living Patriarch calling to its masters. A death sentence for your weak flesh. A mere nuisance to the might
We have not
of the
heard.
Necrons.
There we go.
We've never heard of such threat. This has never been filtered down.
Your technology is primitive. And the bickering of your species. It is no wonder you entered space at all.
So, are you here to stand against us? Or are you here to stand with us? If it is the former, you will find very quickly we're not as weak and feeble as you may think.
We have been keeping careful vigil of your flounderings over the past few centuries. It is clear your resources are spent. Your armies are stretched thin. Your people have neither the courage nor the will to fight off such a foe. If left to your own devices, the Great Devourer will swarm through the system, pick all its biomatter clean. We cannot allow such plundering of our empire, and I am left with no choice but to raise the Lezektekan dynasty from its slumber.
Oh, we had a comment from Argenta. Our technology may be primitive, but there is nothing faith and few bolt rounds can't solve. Anyone can roll me a DN4 insight test at this point.
Famously good at those.
Insight.
DN4
Yes.
insight test.
I have a dice pool of 4.
Dice pool of 2.
Oh my god.
I'm wounded, so that's going to be tricky. Shouldn't have rolled. Great. I should probably also roll on behalf of Argenta, who has an insight of 5.
Come on, Argenta. Oh! You've got
We have
5
5
wrath.
We do have 5 wrath. I imagine Argenta might re-roll that.
I think that'd be a good idea.
He's asked, can he help? But like, we're all rolling, so I imagine.
God, I did not miss the can I help, Argenta.
Can I help?
Can I help?
Can I help? Use my wrath. All right, re-roll failed. Ooh, that's a pass.
That is a pass. As this entity is saying these words, the way he emphasizes the fact that he has no choice in the matter, it comes across a little bit strange. Somebody did a complication, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
I may have done. Oh no, that's a portal. Oh my god, I don't like what's behind us. Fuck.
That's a portal. That is a portal indeed. Let me just get rid of some of these dead bastards over here.
Paul.
Damn it, Paul!
That is indeed.
He's coming
what it
back
says.
around. Yes, so Argenta, you particularly notice this strange inflection in the way that he says that he has no choice in the matter, as if it's a burden rather than a sacred duty. But as you are focusing in on this conversation, behind you, you do see, or you hear first, these portals opening, and stepping straight out of them are 3 creatures. And everyone is going to have to roll me an initiative, please, to see if they are not going to be ambushed.
Oh, good. Because
no
something
DN,
Paul's
just a
very
roll.
good at.
It is going to be based on their roll.
Right.
So they've got a 3, a 5, and a 4. 4,
Argenta
nice.
did very well. For my initiative, does my wound? Oh no, because it's just against their DNs.
Yeah.
Fine.
DN4, do you say?
DN3. Oh, Paul, stop it!
No, I don't want James's dice.
Guys,
I'm going to use a point of wrath on it.
Argenta did very
There you go.
well.
Nice. That is the Gerhart rolls we like to see.
God.
I will do one to glory and one to better result.
I feel like I probably also should use one of my wrath in this situation. No, there's not much of a chance for me to do any better. I'm not going to.
Fine.
Glory, better result.
So, in this first round, then, Gerhart, you are not ambushed. Simon,
Okay.
you certainly are.
Great, yeah. Good.
Sorry, Paul is. And Argenta isn't either. But one of them did do a Wrath critical, so it will go first.
Free action using quick draw. The power blade flicks into his hand.
Nice. Power Blade comes out. As we enter a state of combat,
For this.
charging forwards, this hulking beast, its
Oh my god.
its
it's
metal outer body is just dripping in flesh, some of it decayed, some of it looking like it's still bloodied, and it reeks as well. As I think you all need to give me a fear test as well. Let me just double check.
Well, if you are within range of Paul's bravery
Goodness.
stank.
Nice. Give me a DN5 fear test, please, everyone, as these creatures step out of the portal and charge forward.
Bubble of Fun does not have a thing here to pick, so I'm just gonna have to add it, right?
Bubble of Fun. Which one's that? Is that the whose is that? Yours? Fearsome Respect, isn't it?
Yes.
Fearsome.
Yeah, it's
Something
not
like
coming
that.
up like it used to.
It should be like just click on resolve test. Oh,
Yeah,
he's moving
nothing
me
here.
about.
Yeah, I was just seeing if that brought it up. Maybe I could just drag it onto you. Right, it's on there for now.
Fearsome respect. If I
Yeah,
toggle
I
it
had
on and
6,
off,
don't I?
I've added the effect onto you, so it should automate
right,
now.
okay.
Oh, okay. Here we go. No D.
There it is.
DN5, you say?
DM5, please.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
There we
DN5
go.
for me becomes DN6, of course.
Still says dice pool 5. Does that mean it's going to add by itself?
No, it says dice pool of 11 to me.
Okay. Let me refresh that. Okay.
So the dice pool of 11. The DN is 5 for Argenta.
There we go.
Argenta did not roll particularly well there. Oh, but she passed anyway.
Okay, I can re-roll dice, resolve dice that I didn't pass. So, and I can do that once per test. I'm gonna re-roll the selected.
Go on, Argenta. Argenta meets beats and rolls a Wrath critical, so that's an automatic point of glory.
Nice.
Point of glory.
Paul can shift. I think at this point I'm going to shift for a better result against this roll.
Same.
What is the better result you're fishing for as you steel yourself as you see the terrifying creature running at you?
So I'm hoping. Feel free to sort of say no, but I'm going to say that they stink so badly it's like smelling salts at the gym, and it stops Paul from being
Wounded?
Not wounded. Fuck no. Ambushed.
I'll allow it, but only in the sense of you get a turn, you cannot steal a turn, or you're going last, but you are essentially you're in the
But
combat
I
tracker.
get to act on. I get to act
Yeah.
on the same combat round.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Cool.
My better result being the gross monstrosities that tried to tear away at Gerhart's resolve only makes him think of his training and everything he's gone through, which then bolsters his resolve, or at least sharpens his focus. Puts him at the task at hand.
Sure. I'll give you a narrative +2 to your next attack roll.
Ooh. Okay. Thanks. +2 dice?
Yeah,
Like
+2 dice pool. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Cool.
Right. So this one has charged in at Argenta. It's scything claws just running at him. Ah! As its mechanical voice, it sounds tinny and hoarse as it screams out towards you. I'm going to shift for damage.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a big hit.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Can you apply
yes,
damage, please,
faith, no.
Paul? Oh, face no.
He's faithing. He's faithing.
Nice.
Argenta goes onto one knee and begins to immediately pray as the swipe of the hand just
Nice.
swings at the space where her head used to be before she went down onto one knee praying.
Beautiful. That one is it the Emperor Protects? As a reflexive
I can't remember
action,
what
yes.
it's called.
You spend 2 faith to point. Yes.
Faith points. So that is down to 3. Thank you.
Done. Okay, so that happens. He swipes out this huge hit, narrowly avoiding Argenta as she takes a knee and just fervently Aquilas and raises her head up. He has charged, so that is all he can do on his turn. Next up, then, this entity will use its ability, Prescient Strike, as it takes its turn in combat without spending ruin to do so. And he... Let me just remind myself of everything here. Yes, it moves away from the dais. It essentially glides across the floor as if its feet are barely even touching it. It rises this staff that appears out of nowhere as if it molecularly just creates itself and brings this alien-looking item into existence and just strikes out at the creature.
What? That plot twist? I thought he was about to fuck Gerhart up. Damn, okay.
Yeah. Staff of Tomorrow.
Staff of Tomorrow.
Gonna slap him right into the next day.
As he just slices through, this strange bluish liquid just pours out of the flayed one and lands on the floor. Right. Who is up next?
Gerhart?
Yeah. You're up.
Okay, let's see. How much movement do I have?
You got all the movement. You got like natural 7, don't you?
I? I do, yeah. So if I that 7. Okay, so free action, I'll switch out my 2 weapons. Going from Power Blade to Eviscerator. He kind of eyeballs the other guy, thinking he's about to come into an attack himself, Gerhart, and watches him swing at this creature that just cut Argenta. And he's through his helmeted mask, he's frowning, almost confused. And pays no mind to him and will charge the other two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'll use a simple action to run to like get a bit closer.
Okay.
Okay. I will attack both
Okay.
using a multi-attack.
Ooh, okay. Here we go.
Yeah. And, okay, so I've got extra 2 for one of them, right?
Extra 2 for one of the dice rolls, yeah.
Yeah. And neither of them have taken a turn in combat.
Neither of them take a turn in combat.
Cool. So it's 14. Yep. That's 1. And this is 2.
Wow.
Nice.
Did I hit? Ooh,
Not on
You
one
hit
of them.
one of
Okay.
them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna do Savage Echoes on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so good to have you back, baby. Okay.
Nice. You hit both of them with your Eviscerator.
Nice. I won't re-roll that because I don't want to get a complication because I'm scared. And I'll roll damage. I will re-roll these 3. Kept them re-rolls.
Nice.
Gain 1 damage.
Oh. And with a strike
my.
of this Eviscerator, I mean, describe what happens.
Gerhart just slides across this very, I don't know, smooth surface. I'm assuming it's all perfectly machined. I'm assuming his grieved feet slide into place, and as he does, his movement comes to a stop, he turns it into a pivot on his heel and goes for a large arcing swing, almost like a baseball bat with his eviscerator, as it cleans both through the spine, severing both at the hip.
Nice. You do so. And these wicked-looking entities just collapse dead on the floor. Next up, the other
Switch up to the
creature
power blade.
at the back of the room, it moves forward as well, heading just next to Argenta as it slides in. It also raises its staff that materializes, and one thing you notice that as it materializes, it essentially devaporates, it disintegrates in one of their hand and then reappears in the other as it switches over, and he's gonna slice out with the staff as well.
Oh,
Nice.
solid hit.
And as he charges,
This strange-looking creature.
as he charges this strange-looking creature, he cries out,
The blast, Dysphorak. Be gone with you, fire virus.
nice.
Oh, nice. Okay.
As
cool.
the staff strikes through, cutting straight through the metal armor, and it falls to the ground, dead.
Whoa.
And as they die, oh shit, hang on. As they die, GM remembers to roll. It's fine. The creatures glide back to their dais, muttering to themselves.
You right?
Right.
You guys right?
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't get a chance to touch me. Still wounded from earlier. Clearly, the two of you can handle yourselves. As you could see, our compatriot here is representative of all of our abilities. He took out 2 in one swipe. Thank you for your aid, nonetheless.
You clearly don't present as enemies.
Are you the enemy of the ants that roam around in the desert?
You think so little of us? For what little we have, we fight with a vigor to keep this system on its feet. We are cut from the expanse of our armies that far outstretch this system. We make do. We are only but a slither of the full might of the Imperium.
We know of your Imperium. We know of the taint that lies at the heart of it. We have watched your civilization birth, and we will be here when it finally dies. We do not think little of you. We do not think of you at all. You are but the passing of the stars. Your time is fading. You have nothing left. But no, it cannot be done. Now we must raise the dynasty. I think it is time.
Are you two a hive mind? Or are you individuals? I've looked you over, and I could not see one tiny imperfection between you two. You are mirrors.
One of them stops what he's doing and looks over at you.
Quite the perceptive one, aren't you? As
the other steps around and steps into the first, melding back together in a bluish burning light as they become whole again.
that is me, and I am it. When you know how to control the ebb and flow of time, it is useful to have yourself in difficult situations.
That's a neat trick.
Neat trick. is millennia of study.
So, why do you people, your Necrons, you seem to have all this knowledge, technology, and wisdom. Do you share it with the wider galaxies and universe, or do you hoard it?
Let me ask you. When your species started its great crusade from Terra, did it open its arms to the wide and unusual creatures that they found on planets? Or did they genocide them and take the planets for themselves?
We crushed everyone beneath our boots.
Precisely.
Would you do the same?
We will have our empire back. The Great Sleep is almost over. Zarotech has returned, and it is nearly time. We cannot put this off any longer.
You say that name as if we would know what it is. Who or what is Zarotech? And, I suppose, whatever threat.
Sarek.
Oh, come on.
Sarek. Your people know him as the Silent King. He is the greatest one among us. He is the leader of all the dynasties, and will bring the Necrons back to their rightful position in the galaxy as true rulers. We who have defeated the gods, we now claim ownership of the stars.
I'm just thinking of Argenta here, because Argenta would probably consider things in a way that Paul wouldn't necessarily. But is the Emperor considered a god from the point of view of the current Imperium subjects?
There are huge swathes of the Imperium that would see the Emperor as a god, yes. The Astartes don't necessarily see him as a god. The Astra Militarum, most of them would see him as a god. You've got the Ecclesiarchy, you've got the Sisters, the Adeptus Sororitas, who worship him. So yes, the Sisters 100% see him as a god. But yeah, there's elements that don't, but the majority of people in the Imperium would think that he's the God Emperor of mankind.
Well, Argenta may well feel as though she might want to chime in on that. She might say something along the lines of, "That is a bold claim. When the god of mankind protects us all, and I feel him through my veins at any moment." Something along those lines.
Yours is no god. He is a man. Perhaps a great man, yes. Intelligent. But is still a man. We talk of the true gods, the old ones. Do your species know nothing? The war in heaven was fought over millennia. My people taking out those who created the system, those who deigned to think themselves above the rest. The ones who tricked us into this, as he looks down at his metal body.
You were something before? What were you?
It is true. We were the Necron tier. More similar in biology to the likes of you. Before the deceiver took us and gave us great strength and power. And now we are the Necron tier no longer. We are the Necrons. Endless. Immortal.
Do you think yourself a god? Or gods?
No, of course not. We are not gods. We are immortal. It is not the same. Time has no relevance to us, so we can perform our duties. But we are not gods.
If your people are so advanced and so smart, how did you end up like this, as you are now? How does someone like you and your people get deceived so? You've been beaten once. What's to stop you from being beaten again?
We were never beaten.
As he takes a step towards you, Gerhart.
We were never beaten. We were suffering. We demanded the technology to end our suffering. It was withheld from us, and so we found it in our own way. But it came at a price. Some say the cost was too much. But it did end the suffering. And
I
now,
would say slumbering for millennia certainly seems like running away. Does that not seem like a loss? That means you're not infallible. Not as much as you say. Otherwise, we would have seen you by now.
many of your species has come to us. Many have fallen, some have worked with us. Svarek ordered us into our great sleep. 40 millennia ago. So as to rule this galaxy, when the rest of these species have killed themselves off. Be gone with the disgusting Alderi. And all the juvenile races. That time is coming.
What time frame are we talking here? Remind me. I realize that you just said time has no relevance for you as immortal beings, but you say he's waking up. Define soon on our terms of time.
I'm not sure I understand the question. Say it again.
Essentially, Paul is asking, what does he mean by soon? Is it like next month, or is it in 1,000 years?
Oh, the awakening. Oh.
Yeah.
You ask a lot of questions. The Great Awakening will happen when it happens. We all have our part to play. Many of the worlds have already rose. Many of the dynasties are already taking back their empires.
Alright, but will that happen before this threat? He sort of says in quotation marks with the one hand that he held against his chest. Before this threat enters the Gilead system. You said yourself you're a master of time.
If it would happen before, why would we be trying to raise the dynasty now? Foolish mortal. The Great Devour comes now, so we are forced to raise the armies, the Empire now.
Right. You say we're primitive, yet we still live here. There may be many that would be hesitant at working with you.
They do not need to work with us. We do not expect your allegiance. We do not expect anybody. We are strong. And we will do what needs to be done.
One thing that is becoming very apparent in this whole conversation is he seems extremely reluctant to go back and finish off this. I guess you guys would know it as like a ritual to raise the Empire. You know, if this thing was so important, why is he talking to you?
We could maybe use that as leverage in some way.
You know, it occurs to me. You speak of us as ants, as lesser than bacteria, right? Strange. I've never conversed with and answered questions with either. Yet here you are, off-putting your duties to speak with the bacteria. Why is this? Why are you even entertaining this conversation instead of doing your duty?
The creature takes pause at this.
Is it because waking up your armies is against your duty? Because it's before the time that it's supposed to be?
No. The waking up of the armies. It is, because it is early, it is a more complex task to perform. You life forms are impertinent, aren't you? Is it not enough for you to just comply for the fate of your precious sector?
You said you've been watching us. You said you've been watching all of humankind. Shouldn't that answer your question without having to be asked? You said you know what we're like. Of course we couldn't comply.
And maybe we humanity remind you of your old selves. Before you became Necrons, you took fate into your own hands. Acquire the technology in your own means.
You clutch at
Isn't that-
straws. No, of course not. But I will explain. But listen well, for I will not repeat myself. My Pharaoh, Lezektek, the Razed Light. Before the Great Sleep, he had two trusted generals. The Cryptek, Anofte, and Lord Kalalek. Both incredibly powerful adversaries and experts in their own fields. Lord Kalalek led my Pharaoh's armies, and Anofte was the mind behind some of the galaxy's most potent and destructive creations. As with all great men, they became bitter rivals over time, with peace hanging by a knife's edge before the Great Sleep. It would seem that during this millennia-long sleep, a virus known as the Dysphorak has infected some of my people. I do not know of their condition after 40 millennia in stasis. But for their resurrection to proceed would engulf the system in bitter civil war, with the sector's finest strategic mind pitted against its greatest creator. This is not a fate I wish to see. Not until the time is right. But I will not allow my Pharaoh's body to fall to the Great Devourer. You three, you have presented me with a alternative timeline. One that I had not foreseen.
It's interesting how you say that your people fell into a civil war, that powerful entities within them, vying for control and dominion, fought amongst themselves, correct?
To an extent, yes.
You say we're so different, and that we are nothing but ants. But your history is streaked with the same blood ours is. We do the same. The only difference is you're operating on technology that we do not know exists or how it functions. Maybe you're not so dissimilar to us. Sounds awfully familiar.
Petty squabbling has always been a part of civilization. What is your point?
At first you presented yourself as above us, that we do not compare to you in any way, shape, or form. But I see more similarities than I do opposites. I don't think you're so far removed from us. You just have a different knowledge and skill set, that's all.
When you look up at the night sky, you see stars, yes. But many of those stars have already gone. The difference between our races could not be further. Just because there are politics does not make us comparable. There are too many Unknown variables, too much uncertainty this close to the Void Star. Yeah, your chances of succeeding are so small, and the failure of your race is almost written into its gene makeup. You would...
He begins pacing around the dais.
The only way to stop the Great Devourer would be to kill the Patriarch. But you would need to scour 8 worlds, 9 moons, and every wretched rock that moves silently through the heavenly bodies. It is folly.
We found you.
And if you know where they are, you could give us the coordinates.
The Q coordinates. I do not know where this Patriarch is. But perhaps there is a way.
The now single entity moves over to a blinking monolith, running his metallic hands across it, and a small scarab beetle crawls from around the other side, and it clitter-clatters up his hand and onto his forearm.
The records are spotty. But I believe Anefte may have created something that could help us. Yes. Yes, inside his workshop, the Luminous Vaults, he created a machine that could locate creatures based on their DNA.
He's not really talking to you at this point. He's almost like distractingly talking to himself.
Yes. It seems that he intended to use the device to find any remains of our own, yes, the record, they do reflect that the device worked, but the mission, they failed.
Well put. As Paul murmurs.
Yeah, Paul is thinking. And he's leaning slightly over to Gerhart and says quietly, while whoever his name is, I don't think he's actually introduced himself.
No one's asked what his name is. He's just Metal
Yeah.
Man.
He's just Metal Man, while the Metal Man was murmuring near the monolith. We need to see what's in it for us before we agree to anything.
Even if we agree to anything, we're not beholden to it. I do not want to hastily do anything rash at this time. We don't know what these things are and what they're capable of. I don't want to inadvertently start some sort of galactic war. It is above my pay grade and purview.
I agree.
would be interested to hear what this alternate timeline is, though.
Agreed.
So let's see what he has to say. As Paul looks over to Metal Man as he wanders back over to his original console.
Metal Man wanders back to the dais. This time, quickly pressing a few of these archaic buttons. And from the center appears this green glowing star map. And it is essentially a carbon copy of the Gilead system as it is right now. It's a very, very familiar looking image that you'll have seen on any of your travels, any interaction of that. You can see Enoch and Ostia and all the other areas that you would know. But with the twist of his hand, he begins to twist and turn, and as he does so, the planets begin spinning in the opposite direction as time is reversed. And as he keeps twisting and twisting, the speed at which they start these planets, they're moving rapidly, firing backwards. Go on, Gerhart.
Just if you've finished, I don't mind waiting, but as this is happening, Gerhart stands right next to him, and he's like looking him up and down, like getting a closer look at him, and also looking at the things he's touching, just looking at all this technology in a closer look, like really going, what is all of this, trying to demystify it a little bit. He's going up very curious.
Sure.
Standing shoulder to shoulder with him.
And after a certain point, he stops twisting his hand, and the star map in front of you is a lot more alien. There are multiple planets within the sector that mean nothing to you. They're not familiar visually, where they are on the orbital plane. Very strange.
As you can see, the luminous vaults, they were held here on the Leech world of Kurak.
As he stops the rotation and starts bringing the system back to its forward momentum, you see this large planet in the habitable zone of the sector. It just shatters with this bright explosion of green light.
However, Kurak now forms the greater part of what you refer to as the Void Mire.
He spins time once again as it goes forward. The planet's moving in their correct orientation.
It would seem that the workshop it crashed into this planet some 30,000 years ago. As he says
That he stabs his finger towards the star map of the Gilead system, pointing at the fourth world furthest from the system's core.
Is this a map of Gilead? What is this?
As he's been twisting it, the map returns to something that looks more similar to what you know. So it's a little bit older, but it's definitely the Gilead system to you.
It has changed so much over the millennia. How do you have this information?
We are ancient. We have been there for all of this. Waiting. Practicing. Being the vigil of the dynasty.
So this device, can you pinpoint where we would need to look? Gilead's a big place. Even with our ships navigating the warp is treacherous in its own.
Yeah, he's
Haphazardly moving about is perilous.
He's pointed his finger at the one of the planets, a specific planet. It's the one that is fourth world from the sun.
Fourth world from the sun. Pretty sure we have a map of...
There's a map somewhere.
Our main page is a map, isn't it?
Yes,
But I
yeah,
can't
it is.
access it.
Anyone can roll me a scholar test. It'd be DN4.
Okay, here we go. I've got some scholar.
Argenta has 9.
Oh, are we all allowed to roll, or just one of us? Because if it's not all of us, then I'll just let Argenta do it.
Anyone who's involved, who's watching and wants to try and remember what this planet
Yeah, we
would
get
be.
our bookworm.
Nice.
There we go.
Argenta would know that, well, especially fitting for Argenta, because the fourth planet from the sun is, of course, Saintly Enoch.
She would scoff and say, "Of course, it's obviously clearly Enoch." Something along those lines.
How'd you not know the most important place?
Yes, this Enoch. Take a sample of the Great Devourer to the Luminous Vaults. Use the device. It will lead you to the Patriarch. Destroy it and it will stop the tendril from invading the sector. Do this and I will not need to wake the Empire. Your pitiful civilization can linger on here until your inevitable downfall.
How magnanimous of you.
If you do not wish to accept, I am happy to play the timeline where the two generals will fight it out. It will cause death and destruction, but they will destroy the Devourer as well.
I'm usually on the side of exhausting all options before going nuclear, personally myself.
And in this case, I'm of the opinion that I'd like to hold our own fate, in our own hands.
Yes, nuclear. Such primitive technology. Well, I hope we have an agreement then.
So we take the device, go to Enoch, use it at the site that you have described,
No,
and it
no.
destroys the tendril.
The device is in the workshop. I do not have Anefte's creations. They are in his workshop. Go to the workshop, find the device, use it, and it will lead you to the Patriarch. But you must gather the DNA of this creature. Anyone who shares similar ancestry would work. Otherwise, you'll have the device, but no way to locate.
This would not be an easy task. In our world, even consorting with whatever you are is considered heresy. Sister Argenta would attest to this. Even keeping your presence down here secret would be heresy. And there are many within the Imperium that would not look at this so pragmatically and would seek to wipe you out if they would know to your existence.
Be warned, human. My tolerance towards you does not exceed the rest of your race. Should you involve others or betray me in my location, I will know, and retribution will follow. You have offered me an alternative timeline. That is the only reason I have stomached these conversations.
For argument's sake, if you think us so lowly, why have you not worried that I would not simply cut you in half and stop this invasion of your people? You believe us to be violent and primitive. Are you long-lived or are you truly immortal? Could you survive being in twain? You show no worry.
No, I have no fear of you.
If you were to perish, would your people be risen, or are you the sole cause of your people here?
I am the vigil that watches over the Empire. There are, of course, safety measures in place, but this is my duty, to call on them when the time is right. Are you still unsure of this? Perhaps a display of what I do not fear you. And quick as a flash, his hand moves up. And as he does so, Argenta and Paul, you just see Gerhart walking backwards exactly in the steps that he had taken as his time is reversed. As he steps back and then back. And you see his eviscerator swing out at an invisible foe. The creature clenches his fist, and Gerhart freezes in time, mid-swing.
Still active, by the way.
Necron Tom.
God damn Necron Tom. Gerhart's swing is frozen in time. You can see every sinew, every spittle of anger, the rage which Gerhart fights with, the slight sharpening of the fangs as his sanguineous blood longs for the up-close personal fight as he is just held in place.
We do not fear what we do not need to fear. You are all great warriors and fighters, which is why I have entertained this line of questioning. As I have said, you have given me a timeline I did not foresee. I may be immortal, but I am not a god. I am not infallible. Do not make me regret this decision.
Well,
As the hand once again turns, but it brings you back, Gerhart. So you move back, walking around, and you stand before him again. For you, nothing has changed. The last thing you heard was just, "I'm going to show you a display of power," and then nothing. He just stands there, hand up, and then he just puts it down again.
Gerhart looks around for a moment.
whoa.
I am waiting. What is this
He's
power
already
you
done
speak? Nothing's happened.
He turned you back. You did exactly the last few minutes of action in reverse, and then back again.
What?
I don't know what to tell you, man. You just went in reverse and then came back again. Beat for beat, step for step, swipe for swipe.
I have no recollection of this.
I would imagine
Do you still need further
Argenta
proof?
may verify.
I would have to take Paul's word on it. I have not seen this power.
You are right, you would not remember, but I can offer an alternative. If you are still not sure, I want you to be crystal clear in understanding of what our capabilities are, as minor as mine can be.
Well, I can see what you've just done. I cannot explain what you have just done. Or how you've done it. But regardless, whether or not we choose to help you in this alternative timeline, I suppose doesn't matter. If we decline, you go through with your plan. If we accept and fail, you go through with your plan. The only change is if we accept, we delay the rise of whatever army that it is that you say you have, and humanity gets more of a chance to solidify its foothold in this cursed system. How do you know we won't just prepare ourselves for your arrival in Emperor knows how long?
Prepare all you want. It matters not. We have seen the capabilities of your army, the stagnation of your technology, your foolish priesthood of Mars. You are a young system stuck in time. Those who do not move forward with the stars will fall by the wayside. Whether you last for 100 years, 1,000 years, what is it to an endless being?
Right. Well, what do I know, I suppose? Oh, go on.
I was going to say Gerhart, because I forgot to mention him. One thing that you would know as you return, because you're still stood pretty much right next to him, aren't you? You've not stepped away. This guy was cool as ice. No, nothing was coming off him. Right now, he is radiating heat. Like, a lot of heat. That's pretty much, from your point of view, that's the only difference. There's a lot of heat coming off his body as you're stood next to him.
So, okay, so from his perspective, one moment he was cool, the next moment he was hot.
Yeah,
I guess, would
essentially.
we have noticed that heating gradually increase in the time that Gerhart went back in time and forward again?
Yeah. From your point of view, it'd be a steadier heating. Yeah.
Cool.
Whereas obviously for James, it's kind of like when you step off a aeroplane for your holiday kind of thing, and you just get hit with you go from air conditioned to full on blast of heat.
Yeah.
It would seem that whatever you did, you at least do not violate the laws of thermodynamics. You're venting heat. Whatever you did, you must have used a large sum of energy to do so.
The practices of my kind. Energy is part of the conversion process.
I see no other way. If what Poul says is true, whatever you did to me, I don't know how we would fight against such a thing. And as you're acutely aware, we're already stretched thin. My purpose, my sole purpose, is to protect the Gilead system and those who live within it. That is my function. Would seem this is just another duty that I must undertake in order to fulfill that function.
Perhaps we are not so different then.
For the first time, he's turned and looked at you rather than this kind of air of flippancy. Tall, slender, extremely slender, these things. There's no muscle or bulk to them whatsoever. The dead, soulless eyes of these lenses just boring down into you.
I do not wish to see my dynasty embroiled in civil war. You do not wish to see your people unnecessarily slaughtered. We have an opportunity here. I cannot promise
Indeed.
this, the system will be yours forever, because it is folly. But the awakening process, it can take time. Perhaps you and those you know may be long gone by the time the great slumber finally ends.
That's what I was asking.
My kind are without age. Unless we are felled in combat. I may live to see that day myself.
Yes, we know of one of your kind. The Commander Dante. Ancient and wise he was. Did you know Dante once stood with the Silent King?
Do I?
Oh, do you? Would you know that? Oh, I mean, you are young. You said you're 30, aren't you?
Yeah, he's young.
I would say this is news to you. It's obviously like the concept of the Astartes working with Xenos is not completely impossible, but it's not like they'd be promoting it and, you know, but it wouldn't be like, you know, Astartes 101, like get to know your local Xenos. It would be, I'm happy for you to roll for it. It's going to be like a high scholar roll, but I would be really surprised. I'd be really surprised if you did.
Gerhart's helmet shakes back and forth. No, I do not.
They came together. Similar to what I propose, to defeat the Great Devourer. It is the single scourge of this galaxy. All should respect its power and annihilate it wherever possible.
So, I suppose if we're repeating history, then history would dictate that I would know your name if I am to be working with you. I'm Gerhart, but I'm sure you knew that already.
He's still looking at you, and he gives what you could deduce as being a slight courtly bow. So it's not like your medieval courtly bow where it's
a tiny nod.
It's a show of respect. It's his eyes never leave contact with you, but it's a sort of a kind of movement, like just a little bend.
Kind of like how Frieza does that. Frieza does like a little...
Yeah, a little bit like that as he does it. And he goes,
This one is known as Svarok. Svarok, the Paradox Architect.
Svarok.
It's a hell of a title.
I am Chief Chronomancer of my lord. Lezektekan.
All right, Svarok. We'll find this device, harvest the DNA, and find this entity. Wipe it off the face of Gilead. In return, you stay your hand and allow our people to run their course. For us to find our own way, be it with the stars or burning within them.
I have much to attend to without the incessant need of politics. We are at an accord. Unless your friends believe otherwise.
I suppose this one would be, like, obviously aimed at Paul, but Argenta especially gets quite a stare.
I feel like Argenta is vibrating inside her power armor. Doing all that she can to keep her finger from pressing down on the trigger.
Oh, he's not even here, is he? He's pulled out.
No, he's not.
Ah, okay. Okay. Well,
He's in and out of the underground in the tube, so presumably signal is
spotted.
spotty.
Yeah. Okay, but Paul as well, you would be getting this piercing gaze from the singular ocular lens in the center of his face.
Paul would meet it. And he would say, in your eyes, we may well be young. I'd at least like to prove that we are equal to the task. Prove that we have a fair stake in the right to existence and our own merits. I'll do it. I'll support Gerhart. I'll see what we can do.
Good. Then it is settled. But first, take this, and with his free hand, his fingers twitch and curl, and floating materializes this strange
materializes this strange crystal that's blowing a greeny blue hue as he just he doesn't offer it to any specific person, but he kind of gestures his hand outwards.
And I guess Gerhart being right in front of him, I suppose, but his gauntlet outstretches and goes, "What is this?"
This is a phase crystal. Should you be in need to contact me, it will draw you. Though I do not know its effect on the humanoid biology, it is perhaps best you use it sparingly.
Does it enact a physical or mental toll? Or both?
I imagine it would be physical. But I have not done testing on your biology. Perhaps you would like to test it and feed me the results.
He says that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, as a, like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes kind of thing.
My vote is Argenta. She's got faith.
There'll be my burden to bear.
I've added it to your gear, the phase crystal.
Okay.
I'll use its power sparingly. I don't see any discernible buttons. How do I activate it?
You'll simply need to hold it in both hands. And bring my visage to mind.
Okay. I'll be in touch, Sevrok. Stay that hand for now.
Do not dally, Gerhart of the Absolvers. The sooner you rid the system of this menace, the better for all involved.
How long do we have?
As I have said before, the timelines are unclear. The great tear in the world, the great tear in the galaxy, has created issues in divination. But I fear if you revolve around Convener more than once, you will likely have the gnashing claws and biting teeth of Xenos down your throats.
You would know Convener as the star of the Gilead system.
Got it. So, if we waste a year of time, it might be too late. Essentially, it might be. Hi, Ed.
Hey, yep.
Hello, Edward.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see you have survived the tube.
I'm not surviving the house. It's so hot.
No, that's bad, dude.
Welcome
It's
to
so
the
bad.
party.
I was so cold before, and now it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's cold plunge to sauna. Yeah, I feel you. But well, it appears time is of the essence. As much as I.
She has a voice.
Yes, I was hesitant to speak with such beings, but if anything Gilead has taught me, we do have to think of wider goals, and our goal is to protect the system. As much as I want to report you to the Inquisition, you have been quite resolute in terms of your response to any outside interference. However, I understand that I don't always have the most clear of judgments, especially when it comes to your kind and my faith. However, I defer that judgment to those that I do trust. And if Lord Commissar over here and the Angel sees fit to work with beings such as yourselves, then I trust them.
Very well. You know your mission, know what is at stake. Do you have any last questions I can enlighten you with?
What am I going to tell my captain?
I had a similar question. You'll have to tell someone.
As I understand it, you and the Commissar and the sister are working with one Tytrona.
I have a temporary leash. Yes.
It would seem that your individual factions would not have issue with your disappearance for a while. And this little Inquisitor lady, she has plenty of things that are keeping her attention.
It is disturbing how much you know.
Gents nods at that.
You comically timed do see a little scarab like clitter-clattering over the floor as it kind of climbs up his leg and goes along his arm.
Yes, the eyes of the Empire are everywhere.
That's what they are. Interesting. You will not harm any of our citizens while we have this accord, I would assume.
The scarabs have done their mission. I may require some support in ensuring this infrastructure leading to the surface remains hidden, but no lasting harm will come from those I can help.
Well, I'd recommend if you want to keep this hidden, perhaps don't blow giant holes to the surface with implements that could only be used by one such as yourself.
I did not issue any explosive requirements. As I understand it, it was the things you are fighting. Cultists. They hit an explosive line. Our works is a lot more neat than that.
Either way, there is a one named Vakuul who has great interest in what lies down below here. I don't think she knows quite what is in here. No doubt, she will be sending search parties, if I had to guess. As you probably know, she warned us not to come down here at the threat of death.
Archdomina Vakuul. An upstart.
Doesn't get less disturbing.
Yes. A
My,
backstabbing heretical bitch.
I have not known of a Magos rise so high at such a young age. but it is little consequence. She does not have any strength to go against us.
Well, the action of the few is not shared among the many. If she was to haphazardly make her way down here or her retinue, that isn't to say that our accord is still not in place. For we cannot control what she does or where she goes.
I take this warning on board. Perhaps I will have to send some scallops up to close the tunnel for now. Lock ourselves in a little longer.
Emperor, I hope we're making the right decision.
Trona will want to know what we have found. We were sent down under a code purple, I believe.
Magenta.
Magenta, that's the one. Nearly purple.
What did you tell her of your findings?
Well, we haven't yet. We said we'd go and investigate.
Yes. And our signal was interrupted before we got the chance to relay any information.
She knows something serious. She might be swayed into working with you, should she know what the true threat is. Might give us the resources to go to Enoch. She'll want to know why we want to head to Enoch.
An Inquisitor's job is to decipher lies, and I'd be surprised if any of us could lie past an Inquisitor.
You three know the stakes. You know what I have said. If I am betrayed, my fury will have heaven hath no fury than what I will bring down upon. If you can gain Tytrona's trust, and you know that she will work with you and support you, it is not on me to decide your doings. I am putting trust in your capabilities, otherwise I would not entertain the proposal. But betrayal, I cannot abide by.
Well, this is quite the predicament.
Yes, we'd have more freedom if we could tell the truth. But in doing so, we risk the fact that Tritona or anyone else would overextend and do something rash. There's a decision we'll have to come to when we get to that bridge, and when we cross it.
Do you trust this Tytrona? Implicitly, infallibly? Do you trust her?
I trust her to do what would be right for the system and the Imperium of man.
So use this knowledge. Let her know that you have found disturbing reports, whatever it is. Use her. Perhaps you do not need to lie. Obfuscate.
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 Up the garden.
It's okay.
But as I say, this is for you to decide. You know the stakes. You know what is on the line. How you complete your task, I cannot.
I haven't failed yet, and I don't plan on starting.
We'll figure something out.
I'll be in touch.
But how?
I
We got a phase
use
crystal.
Blue crystal.
Oh, sorry, missed that bit. She would have known that.
And Svarok returns. He doesn't return to the dais now. He walks behind towards what looks to be a large row of strange black mausoleums in their nature, with a central door in front of all of them. He stands there staring at them for a while. And then settles himself into a period of silence.
All right, see you later then.
He does not respond.
I wonder if he can hear us.
I'd be surprised if he couldn't, considering all he knows, and the scarabs infesting this place.
Xenos architecture is gauche and disgusting. There is not anywhere near enough gargoyles or candles in here.
It's vulgar. It's vulgar. Where are the spiky bits?
I suppose the surfaces are all slightly, unusually flat. I grant you.
Oh,
It's so warm, isn't it?
I
my God.
have to turn it on. I'm sorry. I know it's loud. I'm so hot.
I've been using the Dyson hairdryer on the cold setting.
I've got nothing. I'm desperately waiting for the temperature outside to start cooling down and come in through this window. But I don't feel anything.
It's so much hotter on this floor.
God, yeah, we're
top
all
floor of the house. It's so hotter than the rest of my house.
Yeah, James is also on the top floor. Has been saying how hot it is.
Yeah, this room sucks.
Dude, I'm fucking bro. I got a sweat towel. I'm drinking constantly. I got a fan next to me.
Mate, this is hotter than the tube. It really wasn't like, this is gross. It's, Anywho, I worry about trusting this Xenos. Even if we do, I see us having aligned goals, but we don't know if he will betray us.
I
Agreed.
didn't get that vibe. But you're right. What happens if our goals no longer align?
Hmm.
Oh, I've never met anything like what he is. I'm unable to read whether he would betray us. If he will, if he won't. All I know is the kind of power he seems to have, judging what Paul said, is something that can't be fought against. Particularly here in Gilead, we're already stretched thin, fighting the demons of the warp, and heretics and cultists and everything else in between. I just see this as buying time, in hopes that whatever it is, doesn't turn on us.
Well, we're buying ourselves some time now. We can figure it out as we go. Now, what are we going to do about Tytrona?
I got a feeling Tritona knows more than she's leading on. She mentioned magenta level threat when we came down here.
Yeah.
She knew more than we did coming in.
Yeah. I say we tell her. I say we tell her who we met. We've got proof. You've got the phase crystal. I reckon she'll be wanting to help, or at least get rid of the Patriarch or the Tendril or the Devourer. We've got no easy way of getting out of the Gilead. So one way or another, we're stuck with these guys, whether we like it or not.
She'd also know in our current state, we wouldn't be our faith would not falter, as she looks back, but we would be at a great disadvantage battling the likes of these foul, disgusting, green-hued Xenos.
Agreed.
Agree.
Sometimes the lines, they blur in Gilead. Sometimes you need to get along for the greater good.
And then once we kill this Patriarch and they eventually try to betray us, we'll just, the classic, ting ting, and she just taps her bolter.
Shoot our way out.
Yes. Nothing a little bit of faith and bolter rounds can't fix.
Right. Let's get out of here before more of those fleshy robots turn up.
No. Yep.
What about our other mission then? We were first told to look for the missing people. Wait,
Well,
where's Paul? Oh, Paul's over there. Whoops.
we found the source of it. Was those heretics, was where the people were going. And whatever, I don't know if you remember, the giant foul creature that was amongst their retinue. Claws and such.
Remind me, that feels like it was 3 months ago.
Yes. As Charmsheet goes back to describing, can you throw up the picture of the giant thing?
Yeah, hang on.
As she paints a vivid picture for you to see. didn't seem. They said they found when I was torturing that individual for information, he said they found it deep below. Whatever it was. Definitely doesn't.
Oh, I don't remember that at all. What the fuck?
That's not. I think the image I used was like. I think I used a unique image. That's the one that comes
They
with
have
the
more
codex. See if I can find it.
Right, in
It's-
the meantime, I'm desperate for another wee. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, there it is. Hang on.
Oh, hang on. I'll wait.
2 seconds. Da, 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 da. Nearly there. I wish Foundry was better at just being able to show images quickly.
Now,
Right, there we go. This one.
yes.
Oh, I do remember that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the picture. Trying to remember the rest of the context.
A giant
be right back.
hammer-wielding creature. It didn't seem like it was like one of the other heretic demonic monstrosities. It seemed more like one of those disgusting abhumans. Like the very gross tiny ones and the and the gross big bulbous ones.
It was running amok with those cultists, was it not?
Yes. They said they found it in the depths of Gilead.
We slayed it nonetheless.
You may or may not remember the state of this thing. It was extremely docile for a scary, hulking monstrosity of a thing. Sort of its tongue lolling and saliva dripping out of it. And it wasn't until one of the cultists essentially made a command and told, and said something that it kind of snapped out of this and attacked you.
Yes. Well, whatever this creature was, it wasn't heretical. I wonder if there's any connection between that, the missing people, as well as because the individuals that we found that had been attacked, they weren't signs of, well, the child had corruption inside them, but that seemed more of an after effect of the siege. The man had cuts as if he was attacked by claws. That creature most certainly had claws. And we all know, well, we have first-hand experience of when the taint of corruption touches something, it definitely doesn't leave a clean wound. I would like to get to Enoch, but perhaps there may be something deeper in the depths of this city that we may need to purge. Could be connected to this Patriarch.
Maybe. We do need to get. Go on.
Sarvok, whatever I can't. Sarvok.
Svarok.
Sarok.
Svarok.
Svarok impressed upon us that finding this device, the DNA, and getting to this tendril was of the utmost importance.
But we could only do it if we had some of the DNA. So we're missing
Which
the
we'd have to
key.
go to Enoch for, right?
I believe the lab we wanted to go to was on Enoch. I can't remember if we needed some kind of genetic key to get into said lab. But there's a device in the lab on Enoch that we need.
And we could perhaps take a sample of the creature that we just killed. And that could function as a... Right. Tom, can I do a roll for this? Because I feel like I'm being a little metagamey here.
Little bit.
Yeah.
You want to know whether Argenta knows what this creature is, yeah?
Yeah.
Or like you want to understand whether it's connected. Let's say, so you Argenta's backstory, you've had dealings with Chaos.
And Nid. That's where her scar came from.
Is that where your scar came from?
Yes. She's got a scar on her lip where she was slashed by a Tyranid.
I will then say that it is a scholar test, and it's going to be a DN5.
That is fair.
Oh no!
I'm gonna Spafferath.
Seems fair, yeah.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. I don't like the complication though.
Yeah. Well, do you want me to roll, or do you have something in mind?
Let's see. So
More portals open.
More
surrounding
portals
us.
open. I'm going to do what I did to James, because this is a complication around a thought interaction. So I would like you, Ed, as part of your complication, as you're reflecting on your history and thinking back, I would like you to divulge a bit of your backstory and maybe let slip some stuff that you weren't necessarily doing. So as you're telling them, maybe you're like telling them about maybe about how the scar was made, and that you've had interactions of, you've come across the words the Great Devourer, you know that that reflects the Tyranids, and I want you to come up with something around that. Something that
Wondering if it was the Tyranids.
Yes, now that I think about it, it reminds me of that time where we came across some Tyranids. High Sister Judith Eureka commented around this great devourer of worlds and possibly destruction of all of the Imperium of Man. And I remember it clawing at my face with inhuman, disgusting Xenos claws, and the fear that filled my heart seeing it a hair's breadth away from killing me, it reminded me of, when I cowered at her. I mean, not when I felt the fear of my own impending death coming before me and not being as resolute or as faithful as I should have been.
As you get this description, Paul, I would like you to roll me a willpower test, please. It is a DN 8.
Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Is my wounded condition going to affect the DN?
Oh, you're still wounded, aren't you? Yes, it would.
Okay.
He knows
Sure.
the answer, but he still asks for the fish anyway.
I think it's worth asking.
I'll give that fish. That's a worthwhile fish.
Yeah?
All right. Great.
No!
So I'm also going to use a rat.
Oh my word.
A DN9. Fucking hell.
It's that fucking dice, man.
I think I've rolled a complication with everything that Paul has done so far.
You are rolling some hot complications.
So it's not just me. It's not just
me. It's Paul and Khan specifically.
It is Paul
Apparently.
Khan specifically. Are you wrathing that, by the way?
Oh my god.
Yeah, commissars. It's a commissar thing.
Yeah. Promotion
Yes, I
cages.
did use a wrath. Yes, I did use a wrath.
Oh, you have 4 glory.
We do have 4 glory. How much am I off? I'd need all 4. I'd need 4 successes. No, I'd need 5 successes.
You need 5.
I don't feel like it's worth spending our 4 glory.
Okay. So, as
I've got a lot of willpower. That was unfortunate.
and this, I'm not gonna lie, this was an intentionally difficult test. This was intentionally difficult. As Argenta, is giving you this description of these gnashing, clawing Tyranids, this vicious attack, the way that she describes it, for some reason, Paul, this description becomes very vivid in your mind. You can almost feel the fear that Argenta did. You can smell the iron tang of blood in the air. You can hear the gnashing of teeth and the swiping of claws. It's almost like you are there. And this crescendo of senses just begins pounding down on you as you get this unending feeling of hunger and desperation. You are surrounded by the biting, clawing, gnashing. Your mind is being overwhelmed by this feeling of just starvation, and it brings you to your knees as it is just pounding your head until it's the only thing that you can think of.
Cool.
And
So you guys will hear behind you as, I guess, Paul has taken or slowed down in the reception of this vision, and then suddenly you hear the force stave clatter to the ground, and he's on his knees, and his hands are on his head, going. And he's like desperately just trying to sort of get his breath under control again as his senses return to him and he returns to the moment.
Nice.
What
Words. There aren't enough words to describe the hunger I just felt. Worlds are not enough. The galaxy will never be enough to sate it. We have to stop it.
I know a thing or two about hunger. Just not on a galactic
Nothing
scale.
About hunger.
I live with it every day.
I just felt what the Devourer feels. It was terrifying. It was all consuming. And then he looks over to Argenta. How did you survive? How did you get away? They don't stop for anything.
Where did he go?
Where did he go?
Where did he go?
He melted.
He's ran away again in fear.
Oh, he said BRB in chat.
Oh, did it? Oh, I didn't see it. Ah, I didn't hear it. But yeah, this feeling is so big that you felt it feels like it is going to at once both consume you and explode from you in your mind. As it only lasts a few seconds, but it is a terrifying few seconds as you garner the scale of damage that this is. He's back.
He's back.
Ed, you got a monologue and you missed it.
You did.
I still can't hear you because you're muted.
No, I know. I wasn't just going to shout "fuck it" really loud. But yes. Damn it!
So, long story short, Paul felt the hunger of the Devourer very realistically and vividly saw flashes of the things that Argenta had described. And he concludes with a couple of questions towards Argenta. And he asks, almost desperately, almost pleadingly, how did you survive? How did you get away? They stop at nothing.
Holy fire and faith. Oh, the issue was I was with a canoness, a vast battalion of well-equipped and well-stocked battle sisters, Imagifiers, Palatines, Sisters of Battle, Novitiates, even... Oh god, I'm trying to remember the names of the ones with the shields now.
Ooh, hang on.
Shield Maidens.
Close, but it's, but yes, she was basically just like, we had an army at our disposal and a galaxy. I
Celestian Sacrosanct.
Yes, Celestian Sacrosanct. The elite of the elite. I don't know. With faith in the Holy Emperor, we can survive. But this is going to require everyone in the system to combat this, working as one.
Well, we'll just have to make sure they never arrive. Where was this? Were there Tyranids? On Enoch?
No, this was before I crossed into Gilead. It was a lone moon on an unknown planet whilst we were looking for the holy relic that I've been searching for.
Shame. I mean, not shame.
No. If this hunger's anything like you're describing, if it was on Enoch,
everything would be gone. As he sort of says that with a 1,000-yard stare into the distance. The memory, the flood of memories sort of flashing by once more. Filling in with this, like, dreaded certainty of just the inevitability of the consumption of the Tyranids. Right, that Claude thing that we fought on the way here, you're certain it's one of them? You're certain that's got the genetic material we need?
I'm not certain, but I have faith.
And it's our best lead so far. And he leans to the side, picks up his force stave, plunks it onto the ground, and uses it to try and get back onto his feet. A year suddenly feels like it's not enough. Based on what I just felt.
We've got no choice. It's going to have to be.
Paul nods, slightly fervently, partly to sort of shake the feelings out of his head and partly to try and refocus. Right. We've got a system to save, boys and girls.
Nice.
Just another day in Gilead.
So true. The return journey back through the ancient Undercity is long, giving you plenty of time to reflect on what has just happened. Can you three loyal, emperor-fearing servants of the Imperium really throw in your lot with Xenos taint? Can the system be saved? Surely the Imperium is strong enough, but with so few resources and the ever-growing tide of the ruinous powers throwing themselves from the Cicatrix Maledictum, corrupting the world, it took hundreds of thousands of men, women, to take back a single hive city, one that was, with the greatest of respects, not even that important. Yes.
Fuck you.
Yes, the supply of ball bearings will continue. Yes, that will help, but It was just one city, and it took so many lives, so much ammunition and resources. An entire Thunderhawk of the Astartes brought low an ancient relic of a bygone era that may never be fully replaced. These thoughts all weigh heavy on you as you make your way back to the surface. But as you do so, I want a survival roll, please, from whoever's taking point or who is leading you up out of the city. It'd be a DM5.
All right, loath am I to do another roll where I could possibly or definitely roll complication, but I've got 9 survival.
Oh,
Pretty good.
Fucking A. Yeah, give that a go. Oh, upright. Now I feel too confident with saying that. No, I'll be fine. Yeah.
what could go wrong?
Hey, bad tub.
Sorry.
We believe in you, Simon.
Thanks. Right, okay. I'm guessing again. Wound still up to the DN.
You have yet to cast regeneration. You are still wounded.
Cool.
So it would be.
And this isn't a test to find food or water, is it?
No, yeah. This is more to just retrace your steps and make your way out without being ambushed or anything.
Fair enough. What's the DN, did you say?
DN5.
DN5. Woo!
It's a long way.
That's a long way. And a lot has happened in the last 3 months. Come on, do good.
Almost.
All right, it's not terrible. I'm going to use a wrath because I've got some wrath.
And we got glory.
That's better?
Nice. Yeah. You make it back through the twists and turns. The ancient crumbling undercity, it's vast in nature, but its ancientness and its vastness is both help and hindrance. These streets, these areas haven't been walked in thousands of years, so finding your old trail is not that hard to do. You pick it back up as you head through some of these manufactorums, head back to where you saw the servitors skulking about, and it eventually does lead you to that sloping, gentle sloping, 3 meter by 3 meter clear cut tunnel that leads you straight up. Is there anything you do in that moment?
Keep a wary eye for ambushes and big creatures with hammers. Danger.
Is it easy to get up the climb, or do we need...
It's a pretty gentle slope. Yeah, there's no like it's not like you're gonna fall down or anything like that.
That's cool. I was just gonna double check so I didn't have to, because gents is not dexterous.
No.
So no. Yeah, she trudges along. Clomp, clomp, clomp.
Cool. Yeah, you trudge along as much as you can. And not Argenta, Gerhart, you said you're looking out for traps and ambushes and stuff like that. You head up through the tunnel and you eventually begin to see what appears to be the end of this tunnel. After many, many long hours of trudging, you seem to see the top of it. There's like a flickering candlelight towards the top. And you are going to roll me a awareness test, please.
Sure thing. Here we go.
Nice.
Been a while. Related to Space Marine implants, bit of vision.
Yes, related to Space Marine implants, and it's a DN 6, please.
DN 6. All right, here we go. I'll give that a bit of a tickle with my wrath. There we go.
Nice. 2
Nice.
seconds.
Fail yours.
When you said that, I was like, oh, he's done it, and then I like moved to the screen. I was like, oh, another complication.
No, yeah.
Mm.
I just
It was more like a defeat of just, yep, cool, I understand. It happens a lot.
This is my life.
Yeah, this is my life now.
I mean, what is it? I suppose from Gerhart's point of view, what does it look like when you're moving up this tunnel? What is it that's sort of distracting you? What's the effect it's had on you?
I would say the after image of being around such high concentrations of alien energy. As I remember, my thermal, inbuilt thermal scope or my night vision, went haywire back then when I tried to scan.
Yeah.
So I would say the chip talking to my brain and the vision in my goggles are still recovering from that high energy density. And as he's walking up, the night vision keeps on turning on and off, and he's like tapping his helmet, and it gets little thermal pulses of random energy spikes, and he's like shaking his head trying to see through the fuzz as like the equipment's turning itself back on and resetting. But in this moment, it's leaving him distracted and unable to appropriately assess his situation.
Nice. Amazing. I'm gonna click that, and then I'm going to activate new scene. As you,
What I will say, if I may,
okay,
before you
fishing,
describe the new
fishing.
scene, because you have reminded me,
Go on.
and you did say that this walk is a very long walk.
It was a very long walk.
This probably would be a moment where Paul possibly would have tried to get regeneration going.
Sure. Yeah, you've got plenty of time to do that. So, if that's what you want to do before we go on to the new scene, you are more than welcome to roll regeneration.
Cool. I would like to at least try. Just quickly target myself. Find it. Regen. It's going to be a tough one.
Oh, it's a success.
Oh.
That's
Can't
a
hear you, Ed.
success. Nice.
if it's an ability check, get fucked. But if it's a psycho power, doesn't matter. Every time gets it.
So from Paul, then I guess, what does this look like as you're trudging through these this not cramped, but it's quite a small tunnel, 3 meter by 3 meter, especially when you've got an Astartes walking alongside you. What does it look like as Paul is doing this power?
So presumably, I think Paul might be taking point, kind of, because he's doing the survival roll to make sure we're all heading in the same in the correct direction.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are effectively following the relatively diminutive Paul, who's a couple of steps ahead, using the force stave as a kind of like walking stick as he's trundling through, like tap, step, step, tap, step, step, and then every now and then, or eventually you'll see this sort of small trickle and wave of power sort of ripple just across Paul's surface. The clothes and his armor kind of goes boom, for a very brief moment. You can sort of feel this very slight ripple through the air momentarily. It's subtle, it's small, doesn't seem to have affected anyone or anything around you guys, as it is entirely focused on himself. And
Nice.
a few moments later, for those of you with keen hearing, would eventually hear the sigh of relief that comes from something that feels soothing, as the open wound across his torso knits itself together.
Nice.
Lovely. Yeah, your wounds, they begin to knit themselves back together using the power of unreality. As you are fully restored to no shock and no wounds, as you are all practically back to full strength.
Hooray.
You walk up this tunnel, this gentle sloping tunnel, and are once again met with a scene that feels like it was a lifetime ago. Sorry, something poked up and I was really confused. Yeah, it feels like it was a lifetime ago. The ancient, decrepit manufactorum where the cultists had been congregating, supporting each other, handing out food and drink and medicines, but also teaching heretical prayers and essentially trying to rebuild a flock for the Grandfather. As you arrive towards the top, you have a small ray of light coming through the blown out roof where some moonlight seems to just be piercing through into the area. One thing that seems a bit odd is the bodies of those slain. As you step out into the ground floor where you had your previous battle, the bodies seem to have all congregated centrally in the middle of the room, and that's not where they died. The battle took place across a few different rooms. There was people who'd ran away. There was people who were hiding behind cover, but all the bodies seem to have, not necessarily neatly, but they have been dumped all together. And
is the one that she set on fire still toasty?
what do you mean by toasty?
As in, is it still a burnt crisp of a corpse?
Yes, yeah. The burnt corpse is still. It's not like the skin is regenerated. It's
Yeah,
still very much. Yeah. It's still. I was like, are you saying is it still on fire? Like,
No, obviously not.
No.
But like,
Yeah,
it was like,
it's the burnt crisp body is still there. It's not regenerated. It's not healed or anything like that. Yeah, nothing like that. And as far as you can tell, all the bodies are still cadavers at this point. There's a definite reek in the air of a stench of decay. But as you step up through the hole and your eyes begin to acclimatize to the new light, the darkness down below, you do suddenly see bodies or people appearing out of the shadows. most notably of all, you see someone
We see.
who looks like this, riding a Sulphur Hound Cyber Canid, the telltale red-robed priesthood of Mars, as he and its mount slowly step towards you. And just before he reaches you,
He barks.
he barks.
I was going to
He-
say, that's
he-
remarkable.
He woof woofs.
You have sound effects ready.
and just as he starts stepping towards you, Argenta, you feel the press of a blade against your throat and the humming buzz of electricity. And Paul, a gun clicked and raised against your temple. As if you were to turn around, you would see this fellow right behind you, catching you unawares as he had quietly dropped down. Hang on, do the thing.
Are these evil boys?
By decree of Archdomina Vakuul, your immediate attendance is By decree of Archdomina Vakuul, your immediate attendance is requisitioned. A strategic convergence has been convened to address escalating hostilities between the Absolvers Chapter, Orders Militant, and the Astra Militarum against the priesthood of Mars and Holy Evacuus. Compliance is mandatory. You will accompany us now to await your sentencing. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Ah, interesting.
I report to I report to the Inquisition, bitch.
I have a higher calling.
We're gonna have to
I
kill
was-
these guys, I think.
Yeah, I have to. But I was so tempted to reply to them, like saying our attendance is being requisitioned by saying something along the lines of, "I'm sorry, that's not in stock right now."
Right, we're gonna say bye-bye,
You
stream.
do not have. Bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Do not have